The colonists came to America for many reasons. Name 1. Freedom, political liberty, religious freedom, economic opportunity, escape persecution.
The colonists came to America for many reasons. Name 1. When people first left Europe and came to America long ago, they were looking for a better life. Many of them felt trapped where they lived. They wanted new choices, more safety, and more control over their future. One big reason was freedom. They wanted to live with more personal freedom without being controlled too tightly by rulers. Some also wanted political liberty. That means they wanted a government that treated people more fairly and gave them a stronger voice in how laws were made. Another important reason was religious freedom. Many colonists wanted to follow their faith without being forced to follow a church or religion chosen by the government. Some people came because they wanted economic opportunity. That means better jobs, land to farm, and a chance to earn money and support their families in a new place. And for many, the reason was to escape persecution. Persecution means being punished, threatened, or treated badly because of your beliefs or who you are. America felt like a place where they could start over and live without fear. So if you get this question in the exam, you only need to say one reason. You can say freedom, political liberty, religious freedom, economic opportunity, or escape persecution. Any one is enough.
Quick recall. The colonists came to America for many reasons. Name 1. Freedom, political liberty, religious freedom, economic opportunity, escape persecution. What group of people was taken and sold as slaves? Africans, people from Africa.
What group of people was taken and sold as slaves? This question is asking about a painful part of history. In the past, many human beings were captured, forced onto ships, and taken far away from their homes. They were treated as property, which was cruel and wrong. The group of people taken and sold as slaves were Africans. You can also say people from Africa. Both mean the same thing, and both are correct for the exam. Here's a simple way to understand it. Imagine someone is taken from their home, separated from their family, and forced to work without freedom. That happened to many people from Africa, and it caused deep harm that lasted for generations. So, in the exam, keep your response short and clear. You can say Africans or people from Africa. Any one is enough.
Quick recall. What group of people was taken and sold as slaves? Africans, people from Africa. Name one reason why the Americans declared independence from Britain. High taxes. Taxation without representation. British soldiers stayed in Americans' houses, boarding, quartering. They did not have self-government. Boston Massacre. Boston Tea Party, Tea Act, Stamp Act. Sugar Act. Townshend Acts. Intolerable, coercive, acts.
Name one reason why the Americans declared independence from Britain. Long ago, the American colonies were controlled by Britain, even though they were far away across the ocean. Many colonists felt the rules were unfair, and they were being treated like they had no real voice. One big reason was high taxes. Britain kept charging the colonies more money, and many people felt it was too much. A very famous reason is taxation without representation. That means the colonists had to pay taxes, but they did not have a real vote or representative in the British government to speak for them. It felt like being forced to pay while having no say in the decision. Colonists were also angry because British soldiers stayed in Americans' houses, boarding, quartering. Imagine someone in authority coming into your home and saying, "You must feed and house me." That felt unsafe and disrespectful. Many colonists also believed they did not have self-government. They wanted to make their own laws and choose their own leaders instead of being controlled from far away. Some major events increased anger and pushed people closer to independence. The Boston Massacre was a violent event where colonists were killed. The Boston Tea Party, Tea Act, happened when colonists dumped British tea into the water to protest unfair taxes and rules. Britain responded with more strict laws, including the intolerable Coercive Acts, which punished the colonies and made life harder. There were also specific tax laws that upset the colonists, like the Stamp Act, the Sugar Act, and the Townshend Acts. These laws increased taxes and made people feel Britain cared more about money than fairness. So if you hear this question in the exam, you only need to say one correct reason. You can say high taxes or taxation without representation. You can also mention events like the Boston Tea Party or laws like the Stamp Act. Any one is enough.
Quick recall. Name one reason why the Americans declared independence from Britain. High taxes. Taxation without representation. British soldiers stayed in Americans' houses, boarding, quartering. They did not have self-government. Boston Massacre. Boston Tea Party, Tea Act, Stamp Act. Sugar Act. Townshend Acts. Intolerable, Coercive Acts. The American Revolution had many important events. Name one. Battle of Bunker Hill. Declaration of Independence. Washington crossing the Delaware, Battle of Trenton, Battle of Saratoga. Valley Forge, Encampment, Battle of Yorktown, British surrender at Yorktown.
The American Revolution had many important events. Name one.
The American Revolution was the fight where the American colonies tried to win independence from Britain.
Many big moments happened during this time, and each one helped the colonies move closer to becoming the United States. One early major battle was Bunker Hill. Even though the colonists had fewer supplies, they showed they could fight strongly against the British Army.
Another huge moment was the Declaration of Independence. This was the written statement that told the world the colonies wanted to be free
and become their own country.
A famous winter event was Washington crossing the Delaware,
Battle of Trenton.
George Washington and his army crossed a cold river to surprise the enemy, which gave the Americans a much-needed boost of hope. Another turning point was the Battle of Saratoga.
This battle helped convince other countries to support the Americans, which made the fight more possible to win. There was also a difficult time called Valley Forge, Encampment. The soldiers suffered through a hard winter with little food and clothing, but they trained and became stronger as an army. And finally, one of the most important events was the Battle of Yorktown, British surrender at Yorktown. This is where the British surrendered, and it was a major step toward the war ending. So, in the exam, you only need to name one event. You can say Declaration of Independence, Battle of Yorktown, or any other event from the list. Any one is enough.
Quick recall. The American Revolution had many important events. Name one. Battle of Bunker Hill. Declaration of Independence. Washington crossing the Delaware, Battle of Trenton, Battle of Saratoga. Valley Forge, Encampment, Battle of Yorktown, British surrender at Yorktown. The Civil War had many important events. Name one. Battle of Fort Sumter. Emancipation Proclamation. Battle of Vicksburg. Battle of Gettysburg. Sherman's March. Surrender at Appomattox. Battle of Antietam, Sharpsburg. Lincoln was assassinated.
The Civil War had many important events. Name one. The Civil War was a major war in the United States, where the country was divided into two sides, the Union and the Confederacy. It was a difficult time, and many events during the war changed the nation's future. One important event was the Battle of Fort Sumter. This is often remembered as the start of the Civil War, when fighting began. During the war, President Lincoln made a very famous decision called the Emancipation Proclamation, which helped move the country toward ending slavery in the Confederate States. Several major battles also shaped the war. The Battle of Vicksburg was important because it helped the Union gain control of the Mississippi River. The Battle of Gettysburg was one of the biggest and most well-known battles, and it became a turning point in the war. Another major battle was the Battle of Antietam/Sharpsburg, which was one of the bloodiest single days of fighting. Later in the war, there was Sherman's March, where Union General Sherman led a long march through the South that damaged supplies and weakened the Confederacy. The war came close to ending when the Confederates surrendered in the surrender at Appomattox, which is when General Lee surrendered to General Grant. And shortly after the war, the nation faced another shocking event. Lincoln was assassinated. This was a painful moment because Abraham Lincoln was the president leading the country through the war and planning for healing afterward. So if you get this question in the exam, you only need to name one event, like Emancipation Proclamation or Battle of Gettysburg. Any one is enough.
Quick recall. The Civil War had many important events. Name 1. Battle of Fort Sumter. Emancipation Proclamation. Battle of Vicksburg. Battle of Gettysburg. Sherman's March. Surrender at Appomattox. Battle of Antietam, Sharpsburg. Lincoln was assassinated. What was the Great Depression? Longest economic recession in modern history.
What was the Great Depression? The Great Depression was a time when the economy became very weak for many years. Businesses closed, many people lost their jobs, and families struggled to buy basic things like food and clothing. Money was hard to earn, and many people felt uncertain about the future. A clear way to describe it is longest economic recession in modern history. That means it was a very long period when the economy stayed in a bad condition, longer than most other economic downturns people had seen. Here's a simple, everyday example. Imagine a town where many shops close, many workers lose their pay, and families have to save every dollar. When that problem lasts for a long time, it becomes very serious. That's what the Great Depression was like, but on a national and even global level. So in the exam, you can keep it short and correct by saying longest economic recession in modern history. Any one is enough.
Quick recall. What was the Great Depression? Longest economic recession in modern history. When did the Great Depression start? The Great Crash, 1929, stock market crash of 1929.
When did the Great Depression start? The Great Depression was a very hard time in the United States when the economy became weak for many years. Many people lost jobs, businesses closed, and families struggled to get the things they needed. This long economic problem began after a sudden and shocking event in the year 1929. That starting event is called the Great Crash, 1929. It was a time when the stock market dropped very fast and many people lost a lot of money. Another correct way to say the same thing is stock market crash of 1929. Both phrases mean the same major moment. The stock market fell badly in 1929, and it helped trigger the Great Depression. Here's an easy way to picture it. Imagine a big store suddenly loses most of its money and has to close. Then, workers lose jobs, customers buy less, and other stores also struggle. The stock market crash worked like that, but on a much larger scale. When the crash happened, fear spread, spending slowed down, and the economy kept getting worse. So, if you get this question in the exam, remember the key point. It started with the Great Crash, 1929, also known as the stock market crash of 1929.
When did the Great Depression start? The Great Crash, 1929, stock market crash of 1929. What major event happened on September 11, 2001 in the United States? Terrorists attacked the United States. Terrorists took over 2 planes and crashed them into the World Trade Center in New York City. Terrorists took over a plane and crashed into the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia. Terrorists took over a plane originally aimed at Washington, D.C., and crashed in a field in Pennsylvania.
What major event happened on September 11, 2001 in the United States? This question is asking about a very serious day in American history. On that day, terrorists attacked the United States. It was a coordinated attack that harmed many people and affected the whole country. Here is what happened in simple terms. Terrorists took over 2 planes and crashed them into the World Trade Center in New York City. The World Trade Center was a group of major buildings, and the crash caused huge damage and loss of life. On the same day, terrorists took over a plane and crashed into the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia. The Pentagon is an important building for the U.S. military. There was also another plane. Terrorists took over a plane originally aimed at Washington, D.C., and crashed in a field in Pennsylvania. People on the plane fought back, and the plane did not reach its target. It crashed in a field instead. So, if you get this question in the exam, you can give one clear statement. You can say terrorists attacked the United States, or you can mention one of the plane attacks. Any one correct line is enough.
Quick recall. What major event happened on September 11, 2001 in the United States? Terrorists attacked the United States. Terrorists took over 2 planes and crashed them into the World Trade Center in New York City. Terrorists took over a plane and crashed into the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia. Terrorists took over a plane originally aimed at Washington, D.C., and crashed in a field in Pennsylvania.